Jane Austen was born on the 16th of December 1775 during the reign of King George III. He is usually remembered for his madness, which resulted in his eldest son becoming Prince Regent in 1811. When George III died in 1821, the prince succeeded his father to become King George IV, but the brief period known as the Regency is when all Jane Austen's novels were published. George III's other claim to fame was equally unfortunate, as it was during his reign that the British lost the American colonies in the War of Independence. The colonists in the New World were infuriated by the British government in London levying heavy taxes on them, and the demands for no taxation without representation escalated. The Boston Tea Party served notice of trouble ahead when 300 crates of tea belonging to the British East India Company were tipped into Boston Harbour by protesting colonists, and by the year of Jane Austen's birth, the situation had developed into a full-scale war. But in Hampshire, the new addition to the Austen household just before Christmas 1775 arrived without incident. Now, tranquil as this field may be, those in search of Jane Austen's birthplace might feel just a little disappointed when they discover that this is where our much revered author was born. Yet to dismiss this field would be to lose out on an important part of Jane Austen's story, because it was here that Steventon Rectory stood, where the Reverend and Mrs. George Austen and their growing family had lived since 1767. Sadly, the house was demolished in 1820, but if you look a little more closely, you'll see the pump which supplied water to the house, and the fact that there is a gentle slope is very interesting indeed. When Jane Austen describes her heroine Catherine Morland from Northanger Abbey as a young girl rolling down the slope in the garden, you get the distinct impression she is writing from experience.
She was seldom stubborn, scarcely ever quarrelsome, and very kind to the little ones, with few interruptions of tyranny. She was, moreover, noisy and wild, hated confinement and cleanliness, and loved nothing so well in the world as rolling down the green slope at the back of the house.